Now, I don't know who needs to hear this, but just in case you didn't know, leadership is not a Disney movie. It's not magical animals singing your name and cheering you into your next initiative. It's really far from that. It's actually sticky notes, it's side eyes, it's emails and text messages, and it's team drama. Now, it's also showing up to a meeting with confidence, only to walk out with 5 new problems that you didn't know existed 20 minutes ago. This is the Leadership on the Rocks podcast, where we equip and empower leaders like you to thrive in and create harmony between your professional and personal lives. I'm your host, Bethany Reese, and in today's episode, we're going to continue the launch series of my brand new book, Leadership on the Rocks: How to Survive, Adapt, and Succeed in the Wilderness of Leadership. But before we break open the first section of the book in our next episode, we got to talk about something that every good explorer knows. You don't walk into the wilderness without a survival kit. And you sure don't walk into leadership without one either. And yet so many do. Now, I don't know who needs to hear this, but just in case you didn't know, leadership is not a Disney movie. It's not magical animals singing your name and cheering you into your next initiative. It's really far from that. It's actually sticky notes, it's side eyes, it's emails and text messages, and it's team drama. Now, it's also showing up to a meeting with confidence, only to walk out with 5 new problems that you didn't know existed 20 minutes ago. I mean, can I get an amen? That is the real situation of leaderships: problems, conflicts, constraints. And, here's what I've learned the hard way. Let me just be real. Leadership is not a destination to be reached. Leadership is a body to be nourished and protected as you navigate the wilderness of problems, conflicts, and constraints. I always thought that, leadership is that corner office, that power, that authority, that title, that paycheck. And it's not. Leadership is that body of how you nourish and protect so that you can serve others through the wilderness and lead them through that wilderness. And that is what the Leadership Survival Kit is for. It's not a Pinterest board or a perfect checklist. It's real-world tools that you need to navigate the terrain when it gets tough and your team starts asking, what's the plan? What's going on? What's happening? How do we get out of here? It's the real tools that you need. So let me be clear. We're not talking about a survival kit full of duct tape, granola bars, and bug spray. Although emotionally, if you feel like you need all 3, please feel free to pack them. We're talking about the 4 essential areas of the leadership body. The head is where you think it. The heart is where you connect it with others. The hands are where you actually do it, get things done. And then the guts is where you own it. And so you've got to walk through those. So say it with me. Think it, connect it, do it, own it. Now, I want you to say it one more time because I want you to remember this. This is our Leadership on the Rocks mantra. Think it, connect it, do it, own it. All right. Now, this mantra is the backbone of the survival kit, and I want to walk through it because here's the deal. Every challenge that you face in leadership, whether it's conflict, confusion, or just plain chaos, it can be run through this framework. And it gives you a way to respond intentionally instead of reacting impulsively. So let's say your team drops the ball in a deadline. Okay, maybe old you would have panicked, pointed fingers, spiraled into self-doubt, right? Had some shaming going on. I'm not a good enough leader. My team dropped the ball on this. But now with this Leadership on the Rocks survival kit, you think it. You reflect on what really happened. Why did the ball get dropped? Why was the deadline missed? And then you connect it. You talk with your team openly and honestly to find the root cause of that. And then you come out with a clear, this is what happened. And then you do it. You execute a new system or safeguard that's going to mitigate that or prevent it from happening again in the future. And then you know what? You own it. You own up to the mistake that, yes, the ball was dropped, the deadline was missed, and you hold yourself and your team accountable to growth. Learn the lesson. Now, boom, you're not flailing anymore. You're leading. So if leadership is a body, then burnout is malnutrition, right? Too many leaders are running on fumes. They're trying to lead with only their hands, right? They're cranking out tasks, they're checking that email and hosting these meetings, they're doing things are getting done, but they're not checking their mindset. They're definitely not checking in on their relationships or their integrity. Am I doing the right things for the right reason at the right time? And am I connecting people and bringing them along on that journey? And that's why the Leadership Survival Kit nourishes every part of your leadership body. Your head. What are you thinking about this situation or this stimulus or whatever's going on? Are you stuck in scarcity or do you have clarity? Your heart. How are your relationships with your team and that communication and that collaboration? Are you inspiring trust or are you triggering tension? Your hands. Are your systems working for you or are they strangling your time and your team's time? And then look at the guts, your guts. Are you accountable for those results? Are you owning the decisions that you're making and the results that you're producing, whether they're good, bad, or indifferent? Do people know what you stand for? Or are you a walking hypocrite of saying what you think leaders need to say, but not doing what leaders actually do? Now, you were not designed to lead with just one muscle group. You were designed with the whole body in mind. How you think it, connect it, do it, and own it. Now, let me tell you about a time that I went for a hike on a trail without a map. I was with my family, and spoiler alert, it did not go great. I figured I've got decent shoes, I'm smart, my family's smart, we'll figure it out along the way. Yeah, famous last words, Bethany Reese. 2 hours in, we're sweaty, we're cranky, we're circling the same tree for like the third time. And I'm yelling at the squirrels and blaming them for my poor choices. And that's a lot of what leadership can look like without this survival kit. You've got the passion, you've got the potential, but you're wasting your energy going in circles. Without a compass, a map, or a few trail markers, your best intentions will lead you to burnout. And that's why every tool in this Leadership on the Rock survival kit matters. Even the small ones, like how you run meetings or give feedback. Those are trail markers that keep you on course. So what do you do with this metaphor of the leadership body? I'm so glad you asked, because the answer is you apply it immediately, like starting today. So get a sticky note, a journal, or heck, on the back of your grocery list or a voice note to yourself, write down one challenge you're currently facing in leadership. And then walk it through that Leadership on the Rocks survival kit, that mantra. Think it. What do I believe about this situation? Am I making assumptions? Am I projecting? Am I avoiding? And then connect it. Who do I need to talk to understand better? How can I be more clear in my communication? How can I bring people together to collaborate? And then you do it. What action needs to happen next? What is the next right step? How can I structure it for success instead of leaving it to chaos? And then you own it. How are you going to take responsibility and follow through on what you said? Now, I promise, if you start practicing this process, your leadership is going to go from reactive to rock solid. Which leads us to my favorite segment of the episode, the poor decision of the day. Now, poor is P-O-U-R because I love puns and we are Leadership on the Rocks after all. So today's poor decision is brought to you by the leader who packs everything for the journey except the stuff they actually need. You've got the motivational mugs, you've got the fancy pens, you've got 3 project management platforms, but no growth mindset, no people skills, no effective and efficient structures, and 0 accountability systems. So it's like going on a hike with glitter, a Bluetooth speaker, and a pack of Tic Tacs. Oh, it's going to be fun, maybe, but effective, not so much. Don't be that leader. You're better than that. Now, if your leadership pack is full of fluff instead of function, ditch it. It is okay to start over and pick up the tools that you actually need to lead. And speaking of tools that actually help, let's talk about how to get yours. I am so excited for the release of the Leadership on the Rocks book. It's officially available for pre-order and it launches July 15th. And when you pre-order, you're going to get a sneak peek of chapter 1 straight to your inbox where you can read it today and you're going to love it. You're going to be like, yes, this is my experience, because I know it is. And then you're also going to get registered to win a real leadership survival backpack, fully stocked for both the literal and metaphorical wilderness. You're going to love it. Now, don't wait until you're knee deep in conflict, burnout, or chaos to wish you had a plan. Go to leadershipontherocks.com right now and pre-order your copy. Because if you're leading without the survival kit, you're leading on guesswork, not a rock-solid foundation. This book is packed with trail-tested, best practice tools to help you survive the mess and succeed with meaning. So pre-order today. Be ready to lead with clarity and confidence the moment this book drops on July 15th. All right, let's wrap up today with the most important reminder of all. You are never meant to lead alone. We're in this together, you and me. So guys, until next time, continue putting in the work of building your life and leadership on the rocks, the essential rocks. God bless. And remember, the most essential rock you can build your life and leadership on is the rock of Jesus Christ. Today's Bible verse comes from Psalms chapter 61, verses 2 and 3. From the end of the earth, I call to you when my heart is faint. Lead me to the rock that is higher than I, for you have been my refuge, a strong tower against the enemy.